new 14-inch MacBook Pro, new 16-inch MacBook Pro, M1X Pro-level Apple Silicon, maybe M2X, maybe Mac Mini Pro, maybe iMac Pro, maybe all the Pro. It's the next major Apple event, the Apple Event Pro, and it's coming our way as soon as this month. I'm Rene Ritchie, thanks to Maiden for sponsoring. Hit subscribe and let's break it all down. Real talk, Apple does typically hold Mac events in October. They're not as close to sure things like iPhone events have been in September, but more often than not. Last year, the iPhone event was in October and the Mac event November. But this year, the iPhone event was back in September, and so the Mac event, honestly, could be back in October or it could still be in November. It just depends on when everything is actually ready to ship. Most especially the most advanced technologies like the M1X chipset and the mini LED displays. More on both of those in a second. But either way, the only thing that sounds like a lock right now, but also finally, our new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBooks Pro. And yes, I've been waiting on those for over a year. Specifically for me, the 16-inch, because I need that in my life and my workflow. Famously, infamously, the last redesign was back in October of 2016 with butterfly keyboards, Force Touch trackpads, touch bars, and all USB-C Thunderbolt 3 ports all the time. So yeah, you win some, you lose some. And if you want a video on how that whole inside story broke down, let me know in the comments. This next redesign though, this one is supposed to bring in that now damn near ubiquitous iPad Pro design language, the one where everything is just flatter than ever before. The keyboards have already been fixed back to blessed scissor switches like nature and human fingers intended, and the trackpad was a huge hit. It's great, so no worries there, but it sounds like Apple will be deleting at least one more thing with these next MacBook Pros, and that's the touch bar. But revenge of the ports, or return of the ports, at least according to Guomingchi, with HDMI for TV output, SD card for cameras, and even MagSafe, maybe even with Ethernet in the brick, all making a comeback. And yes, mini LED displays, if Guo's reports pan out, will be just amazing. Like on the current 12.9-inch iPad Pro, they'll get close to OLED levels of high dynamic range without some of the issues that have been plaguing OLED at larger scale or larger devices. Whether or not they get just full-on ProMotion style adaptive refresh rates, we'll have to wait and see, of course, but we wants it. I wants it. The biggest news, at least for high-order bit Apple nerds, just has to be M1X though, the next level of Apple Silicon. Since the MacBook Pros were originally rumored for a June launch, it's likely M1X will be built on the same A14/M1 architecture as the previous Apple Silicon Macs, rather than the just released A15 architecture of the iPhone 13. And to get just absolutely all of the details about all of the differences, check out my A15 deep dive linked below the like button in the description. But the truth is, always is, that Apple will have built in just whatever silicon IP they thought was best for the product. Over the last 3 years or so, they've been working on it. So regardless of whether they're using Ice Storm or Blizzard efficiency cores, Firestorm or Avalanche performance cores, according to Mark Gurman, there'll be just 2 of the former, which would be half as many as usual, and something of a departure, but to make room for a whopping 8 of the latter, which would be double M1 and very much an obscene level escalation, especially with low power mode and maybe even high power mode coming to macOS with Monterey later this year. Also, options for 8 to 16 graphics cores. Whether they're G13 or G14 cores, we'll likewise have to wait and see. But 16 would be, again, at the very least, double the M1. And either way, I personally will be watching for hardware accelerated ProRes on the Pro Max, just like Apple introduced for the Pro iPhones, because going from a whole entire afterburning ASIC on the 2019 Mac Pros to dedicated IP blocks on the 2021 SoCs would be just brain-bogglingly terrific for professional video editing. And what's to say they couldn't do the same thing for audio editing, code compiling, 3D, just all of the Pro things. Now, there have been rumors of a few other Pro Macs as well, specifically an M1X version of the Mac Mini, because where the 2018 Intel Mac Mini skewed decidedly Pro, the 2021 Apple Silicon Mac Mini decidedly did not. And you could tell by its case going back to silver instead of the oh-so-Pro more recent space gray. This M1X Mac Mini Pro would have not only the same additional P cores and potential G cores as the MacBook Pro, but all the additional ports as well, hopefully as many as 4 times USB 4 ports, and according to John Prosser, an all-new design as well, which, yes, sprinkle your Apple Watch redesign salt there. But Apple's still selling the higher-end Intel Mini, so redesign or not, sooner or later, you know that old thermal detonator just has to go. Likewise, an M1X iMac replaced the 27-inch Intel model. That's rumored to be 32 inches and look way more like the Pro Display XDR, the one that Apple introduced with the Mac Pro in 2019. Also with similar, if not the exact same I/O as the MacBooks Pro and the iMac Pro. But yes, alas, no mini LED rumors there yet. And while it's coming, given that it took Apple until April of this year to push out those new colorful 24-inch iMacs, maybe not even until next year with the Apple Silicon Mac Pro, which I'm not even going to look for until WWDC next June at the very earliest. AirPods 3 and AirPods Pro 2 could drop at any time, with the AirPods 3 rumored to be getting an AirPods Pro style redesign and the AirPods Pro 2 a Beats Studio Bud style redesign, but even more pro. And they could certainly fit into an event, or just like every generation of AirPods since the original, just drop in a press release out of the blue. Now, the rumored HomePod Apple TV, which I think everyone is hoping will be the long-lusted after HomePod Theater, and the HomePod iPad hybrid Chimera for the kitchen, sound like next year products at the earliest as well. Same for the rumored multicolor M2 MacBook Air, and just the whole next generation of ultra-low power M2 Macs. But those aren't even the real long shots. No, those are Apple's eagerly expected entry into the VR headset market, basically a personal Apple TV with 8K displays for each eyeball, which is not to be confused with the just as eagerly expected AR glasses, basically an Apple Watch for your face with dual lenses instead of a single screen, and just even way more convenience. But the VR headset sounds more like a 2022, 2023 thing, and the Apple glasses 2023 or later, because I really think Apple wants to focus on quality here, not quantity. Just like today's sponsor, Maiden, who've worked with renowned chefs and artisans to produce some of the best pots and pans in the whole world, which are just a serious upgrade, especially for me, especially since I've been cooking at home just way more. And I want to use what some of the best restaurants in the world use, and that means Maiden and pans that distribute heat evenly, so I can cook some eggs from stove to oven, fuss over a grilled cheese so the edges brown and crunch, but don't burn, smash a burger to get that crispy lattice on the outside, but full-on caramelization on both sides. And Maiden delivers exactly that with premium kitchen tools available directly to you without the markup and with a lifetime guarantee. And right now, because you're watching this video, Maiden is offering you 15% off with your first order with promo code Rene, R-E-N-E. This is the best discount available anywhere online for Maiden products. Just go to maidencookware.com/Rene and use promo code Rene for 15% off your first order. That's maidencookware.com/Rene, promo code Rene. Clicking on that link really helps out the channel, and so does hitting up the playlist for more. Just so much more on the future of Apple Silicon Macs, deep dives on everything that's coming up and why. So just hit it up, and I'll see you in the next video.